speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, you have just tuned in to our show, Where is the Love? Thank you for joining our show. I am your host. I am Stephne Hockenhull. Joining me is my co-host, my son, Gene Williams.
Hey, beautiful people. Hey, Ma, how you doing?
Hey, son, let's get this party started.
Let's go.
On our show, we talk about bullying versus love. We teach and educate about the different types of bullying. We have been caught up with the narcissist bully, narcissist personality disorder, a narcissistic person for a few weeks now. This is just talking about the narcissistic bully was not enough. We had to add to it because there's so much to the narcissistic person. And so, as we learn, we educate, we give you the tools, provide the tools to help you navigate through those relationships. You want to add anything, son?
No, I'm just excited about this topic. You know, it's unfortunately, but fortunately, it's something I've experienced personally. So, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Pull the curtains back.
So, we introduced you to flying monkeys, their work, and their purpose to help the narcissistic.
The narcissist.
So, go back. I'm kind of stumbling over my words right now because I thought I was ready, but I really ain't ready. I don't have my headsets, my earplugs on. So, Gene, go ahead and tell them what flying monkeys are.
Not a problem. All right. So again, like you said, we spoke about flying monkeys, and flying monkeys are the narcissist enablers. And they could be anyone who is willing to subscribe to their altered reality, or not even necessarily willing. You know, a lot of times they're actually, and I'm not sure if we get to speak about this or not, but there are two types of flying monkeys. They are the naive flying monkey. These are usually children, elderly people, and neighbors, or people close by, but people who don't know anything about the situation, who are just reeled in by the narcissist. There's also the intentional flying monkey, ones who already have anger issues, hate issues, and things like that. And this is just another way for them to lash out at somebody. They don't care who gets hurt, and they don't really care that they're being used. It's just an opportunity to go off on somebody because they got issues that they don't want to deal with.
Right.
Facts. So, all right. So now the mind of the narcissist, or the intention of the narcissist, is to test your friends to see if they are controllable. Can I expound, or should I just keep it moving?
No, go ahead and expound.
Okay. So yeah, I spoke about some of my personal experiences with a person with narcissistic personality disorder. This person literally reached out to several of our mutual friends and associates and went on the campaign to actively turn them against me. And like when these people came to me and were telling me this stuff, I'm like, who does that? Who has time for that? Well, that's the mind of the narcissist. Like, they, instead of addressing their issues, they take their misery and try to spread it like a virus.
Yeah.
Their mind, trying to find a nice word to say it, mind altering, lies and deception and equivocation and things of that sort. They do anything to spin the story in a way that's beneficial to them. And then they want to have a whole army against you just to
Right.
keep you down because you didn't do what they wanted you to do.
Yep.
Bad boy. Bad boy. You didn't do what I wanted you to do. Go to the corner. Oh, you don't want to go? Over here. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. You didn't do what I told you to do. Bad boy, bad boy. And if you don't do it, then they get the whole team. Security! Security! Get him! He didn't do what I told him to do. Oh.
Y'all pray for my son. He needs much prayer.
I'm sorry. I'm feeling really silly right now. So
Oh,
anyway,
go
back
ahead.
to the facts. Back to the facts. All right, so your friends and family that have been targeted and used by the narcissist are also being persuaded to do or believe something, typically by use of deception. So, like I said, they'll spin their lies, they'll make it good, they'll cry. He was so mean to me. It was so mean, it wasn't good. And then trying to come to find out, oh, it was them who did it. But they
Yep.
want to tell the story like you did it. Just so it makes them whew, Lord, these people, Lord, I just don't understand how you have so much time to do things that are negative and destructive, but don't have time to make yourself better. Like,
Right.
how are you using your magical powers, man? Your superhero powers. You trying to break somebody down when you could be building yourself up. I just don't get it. I'm confused. So confused.
I have to add to this that the narcissistic person and people are really miserable, unhappy people that
Yep.
want to bring others down and make them miserable and unhappy. And they're not satisfied until they have done so.
Right.
So I think that is horrible that you are in that you have that kind of mindset that you're trapped in, that you want to see others trapped in that same mindset.
Right. Yep.
So
Knowing full well that you are miserable yourself, but you want to make because you're miserable and don't want to do the work to bring yourself out to go from the darkness to the light. Because I mean, it's all a choice. And because you don't want to come from that darkness, then you want to pull other people in, but you don't really want to be around them. Though that's the crazy thing.
yep,
Like the narcissistic person is very miserable, and they want to pull people in, but they don't want to be close to the people they're miserable with.
right,
Think about that.
yep.
It makes my head hurt. Oh. Okay, I
Y'all,
do need a little help, just maybe a little bit.
our producer said that son of yours need help. He does, y'all. I asked y'all already. Please pray for him. He need help.
Hey, you gotta find levity in the chaos of life, man. You really do.
He said, "Do we need to commit him?" Well,
I
let's
don't
just
know if they
pray
got a
harder.
I don't know if they got an asylum that can hold me, man. I don't know. I don't know if their asylum walls are strong enough to hold me. I might punch through a wall or something.
I do want to say this um, to Mark and to our audience. I am very grateful, and to Jean, I am very grateful that although Jean has had these horrible experiences with the narcissistic person and the flying monkeys attached to the narcissist, that he is still sane, that he has not lost his mind. I mean, he is having fun with this, but yet he's telling the truth about what has transpired, and he's being transparent about what has transpired in his life. Um, and it's horrible that those things has happened. And I do want to just be honest and transparent here myself. Um, Gene was isolated from me. He didn't, and from our family, and he didn't realize that's what was going on during that time. So I didn't know all of these things until after the fact because due to the isolation. So I knew things weren't right, and I knew that she had control issues, but I did not know the details that I have learned um, since this relationship has came to an end. I didn't know all the details, so some of it is really mind blowing. But again, I'm glad that he didn't lose his mind and that he didn't have to get uh, psychiatric help and he didn't have to see a psychiatrist and all of that. Say that again.
I'm in therapy though.
Yeah, therapy and a psychiatrist is
Yeah,
different.
you're right. You're right.
Um, so I'm just saying this because I want people to know that if you have had a relationship with a narcissist, it can drive you crazy. If you don't get some kind of help, if you don't seek some kind of therapy, if you don't get some help and talk about these things, you can lose your mind, which is what the narcissist
I
wants you
want
to
you to
do.
do.
They want you to lose your mind. They don't want nobody to like you, don't want nobody to want to be around you.
They
They
don't want
want
you
you
to
to,
like yourself.
right.
That's worst of all.
Yep. They are loners. That's what they want you to be.
Yep,
They want you to be a
yep.
loner. So get some help. And while I'm saying this, I want to add that there is a suicide prevention hotline and there is a mental health hotline. That number is 988. 988. Dial that number and you can talk to someone on the hotline to share your information with, to share your feelings and your experiences with, so that you're not dealing with this stuff alone. This stuff is very hard for people to deal with. Um, and like I said, if you don't get some kind of help, you can lose your mind too.
Right.
And then guess what? The narcissist is satisfied because they've achieved their goal. They've achieved what they've set out for. So
Temporarily. They're temporarily happy. You lost your mind. Now it's like it's love. They're never satiated. That's the problem. They are the insatiable. Actually,
yeah, go ahead.
it had nothing. I mean, it's connected to it. But I wrote a comic book, and there's an entity called the Insatiable Ones. It's a conglomerate of entities combined, and they're called the Insatiable Ones. They go from planet to planet and universe to universe, absorbing and devouring whole solar systems and galaxies and things like that. So it just reminds me of the narcissist and the fact that they're never satiated. They always want more. You lose your mind. Go from a svelte person to a string bean, lost all your hair, and you're insane. And they're happy for a short time, and then okay, what's next? I want more.
Yeah,
Oh, I ain't got nothing left. You took my soul.
yeah. You're right. And the different information that I have read and that I have researched, it did say that they're never satisfied.
Yeah.
It's always, like you said, what's the next step? So our producer said narcissists will try and make it a very narrow world.
Yep.
Been there, done that, do not want to do it again.
Right.
Mark, I don't blame you.
Right.
This, just even reading this stuff, is just ridiculous. I have had a relationship with a narcissistic person. Um, but not an intimate relationship. So in an intimate relationship, there are so many connections, there are soul ties to go along with that. That in itself, within itself, is hard to break away from. So I can't imagine having the soul ties with a narcissistic person and all the behaviors and the attitude and all of this of a narcissistic person.
Yeah.
I can understand why a person would lose their mind if they don't get help of some kind.
I think eventually we need to talk about we talk about a lot in society about how how women are abused by their partner, but we also need to talk about something that's not talked about often, which is how men are victims of domestic violence as well, and domestic abuse, emotional, physical abuse from their partners, be it
Yeah.
male or female.
Yeah.
I'm a victim. I admit that shit wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The producer said narcissists are like Ren and Stimpy. They want to rule the world.
Right. Right, exactly. No, that was Pink in the Brain. That was Pink in the Brain. What are we gonna do today, Brain? Same thing we do every day, Pinky. We try to take over the world.
Y'all keep praying for my son. I done asked y'all a couple times already in this show. Pray for him.
Put your hands on the screen right now, Lord. we're, we're two or more gathered. In my name, I am there as well. So reach your hand forward. Lay hands on his brother's spirit.
Oh my goodness.
Loose here, demon.
Oh shoot.
There we go. Exactly. Pink in the Brain.
All right, so I'm glad y'all know the cartoons and who said what and did what.
Stimpy, you idiot.
All right, so the method a narcissist uses to hook you in the beginning, is a saying that they use on your friends to recruit them to be flying monkeys. My eyes are wide open to be somebody's flying monkey. That can't be a thing. First of all, I don't agree with everything I hear. I don't believe everything I hear. And so that makes it tough for somebody to try to make me their flying monkey. Just because you tell me somebody did something or says something, I don't believe everything I hear. And I don't have to go to the person and ask them, did you really do this? They said this about you and they said that. That's being nosy. That's doing too much. So I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but I'm trying to give you some tips here. Everything ain't your business, even though somebody might have brought it to you. I'm just saying. So you have to pick and choose what's important, what's valid, and go with that. So I'm talking from a mature mind. Hello, not a mind of immaturity. So some friends may go to the dark side, y'all. It may never be someone you want in your life again. Let me tell you about this dark side. The dark side is the negative, troubled, or antagonistic part of someone or something that is usually kept concealed. A healthy friend, you got something you want to say, Ed?
No, I've experienced that, but we can keep going.
If you want to share, you can share.
Yeah.
Get your light right.
I know. I'm like, what's going on? That was ugly.
All right, so while he's getting his light right, a healthy friend would come to you with concerns. Your narcissist is talking about you. They would ask you to verify the lies they heard and trust and believe you when you explain. Like I said, for me, I don't have to, just because somebody come to me telling me something about somebody, uh, I don't have to go to that person and say, did you say this or did you do that? Is it my business? How important is it? So that's how I look at life. Everybody ain't me and I ain't everybody. So, you pick and choose what you want to get involved in and engage in. I've learned that, like I said, everything ain't my business. So, and everything ain't that. I mean, what's helping me to grow from this? What's edifying me? What's encouraging me? What's inspiring me about whatever that thing is? That's why I can say everything ain't important to me, that I have to go and be asking questions and inquiring, did you say this or did you do that? What does it have to do with me? How can I inspire? How can I encourage? that person instead of going to them with that kind of information.
Right.
That's how I look at life.
Right. And I agree actually. So my point is, like, you got to think about it from this standpoint. A person who's truly trying to grow is not going to say negative things about someone else to you to pull you in, because when someone comes to you with negative information about another person, they're trying to pull you in.
Yep.
If a person who's truly trying to grow personally, they will come to you with concerns and approach from the standpoint, what can I do differently? What can I do better?
Yep.
That's a person who's truly trying to grow. If they come to you, well, he did X, Y, Z, and da, 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 da. Okay, how do you end that? So this is going on with me. What can I do to make this better for me and for them, because we're involved in a situation together? But a person who's a narcissist comes at you, you know, throwing shade on somebody else so that they can bring you into their horde of flying monkeys, as opposed to personally trying to grow. And that's the issue. Like, you're not here trying to grow. You're just trying to pull somebody in so that you can keep up your childish, immature, vicious, poisonous. What was the word I wanted to? That ain't the word. But venomous. That's the word. Venomous personality and perspective to bring someone else down, and then everyone else with you, and then you don't even care to stick with that person long term. Like, once you have outlived your usefulness, they will discard you, like they do everyone. That's how narcissist works. So if a person's trying to pull you in with negative talk about someone else, they're trying to use you. Beware. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag.
So
That's when you.
go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
So I want to add to that and remind you of what a bully is. A bully is someone who seeks to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone perceived as vulnerable, someone that feels the need to control someone else. Control is the power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. So that person is also bullying you and trying to make you believe what they're saying, the negative things about this person. So they're trying to control your thoughts about the person that they're talking about. Also, that is a verbal bully. A verbal bully talks negatively about someone, their weight, their race, their culture, their sexuality, their religion, or they use demeaning language to embarrass, dominate, and humiliate another person. So you're bullying the person, you're trying to control their, like I said, their thoughts and beliefs about somebody else by speaking a lot of negative stuff over them. So get your life together. I'm just saying, get your life together. Build up one another, encourage one another, inspire one another. And real love is compassionate. It seeks to build up. It treats others the way they want to be treated. So real love treats others kind. So you can say you love somebody and you're doing all these things, negative things, saying all these negative things about them or against them, and then you say you love them. You're confused about what love is. Real love is just what I just said. Real love, and that's just a little bit of it. It has empathy. It's compassionate. Those things are real love. So you want to add something, Gene?
No, you were very on point. There's never a reason for a person who truly loves you to put you down.
Yep.
Regardless, a real person who loves you, is understanding, patient, is flexible. Um, just never again trying to pull you down. Always trying to build you up. Always trying
Yep.
to edify you. Always trying to add to you. Help
Yep.
you discover, which means uncover your highest potential. That's
Right.
what real love is.
Yep. It's calm and peaceful,
Yep.
thoughtful, caring for others more than for yourself.
Right.
Not jealous, not proud, not rude.
Not selfish or self-centered.
Right.
Yep.
Doesn't demand to have its way. Well, that's selfish. So, not irritable or easily angered. I mean, real
Lord.
love. Huh?
I said, Lord.
Yeah. So it never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, always perseveres, and it lasts forever. It lasts forever.
And it's unconditional.
Yes. Yes. Un- Unselfish, you said that, has concern for others. It makes you feel good, makes you happy, gives you joy. Is that enough, y'all,
Oh
about love?
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that enough about love? So that's what real love is, not all these hurtful and painful and not that stuff. Throw that in the trash. That ain't no good.
Right. Big facts.
So, you want to add something else?
Well, I did want to read what Mark said real quick.
Okay.
So he said, our producer Mark said, society plays a part in. This is a response to men being victims sometimes of, physical and emotional abuse. So he said, society also plays a role too, because sometimes narcissists can play into society's belief that men don't cry and have to be tough all the time. That's a whole nother show. Like we could go into depths about that.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely true that we're told as men not to cry, don't feel, don't talk about your feelings. But then when someone goes and shoots up a building because they were upset about something they didn't express, then you're like, well, someone should have hugged him. You know, maybe we could have prevented that on the front
Yeah.
by realizing that men feel things too.
Right.
Anyway, we can go on to the next thing. We can be on
So,
that.
but let me add to that though. Saying things like that and believing things like that, that men shouldn't cry, men shouldn't show emotion, instead of that being a strength thing, a strong thing, that is a negative connotation. It is very negative because, like you said, you're taught not to show your emotions. We all have emotions, men and men and women. We all have emotions. Women are more apt to share their emotions and express their emotions than men. So those kinds of things really need to be dealt with. We all need to uh, open our mouths and express what we're feeling without shame and guilt.
Yep.
I mean, that's so bad that it's like that. So I just want to say, while we're here on this show, and I'm a woman, men, express yourselves. You have to open your mouth. You have to say what you're feeling. You have to be honest and authentic about what you're feeling. How else are you going to get relief? Because, like Jean gave the example of, a man going shooting up, you know, people, shooting a bunch of people in a building. Well, those emotions have to be expressed in some kind of way.
Right.
So I encourage you men to talk to somebody, even if it's to each other. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel guilty about what you're feeling. Talk about what you're feeling and express yourself to those that you can trust. Find somebody that you can trust. And to those that are not used to that and don't want that, I ask you not to put them down and not to make them feel belittled, uh, and not to not to damage them by saying negative things. You ain't a man. Real men don't cry. I almost said something.
What you almost say, mama?
Woo! I almost said something.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell on you.
Listen, y'all don't put people down because they don't do what you want them to do, or because they don't respond to things the way you want them to respond to things. And if you don't have your mind together, get your mind together so you can receive, uh, learn how to listen to what people are saying. So that's another skill. I'm trying to be cool. Um,
And we also have
with
to take into consideration the fact that men are over 50% of the population that commit suicide. You
Yeah,
know, the rates of men committing suicide are actually, I think it's, if I remember correctly, at least three times the rate of women. So, you know, because we're taught in this society not to express our feelings, and then
yeah,
those things over time, you know, emotions are like water, and any source of water that is free flowing always stays clear. The water always stays clear and it's healthy. But water that is blocked in over time becomes toxic, like a swamp. Uh, and eventually that swamp, you know, has things like piranha, you know, alligators and all types of, you know, water moccasins and stuff like that. Is deadly is the point. You know, the point is it's deadly. It's toxic to hold in your emotions like that, male or female.
yeah,
Um, find something to do. Write it down in your journal. Express it through poetry. Express it through music. You know, find some way to utilize that energy in a way that is constructive so that you don't go the destructive path and end up killing yourself, you know, physically, literally, or even just mentally, emotionally. You know, you need emotions are life, they're energy in motion. So when you feel those emotions, they are to be used in a way that is going to build you up as opposed to tear you down. But you have to find something that you enjoy deeply to help you navigate those tough times.
yeah. I totally agree. So this was not a planned subject, but it was a very necessary part of what needed to be said here. And I'm grateful that this came along.
Yeah.
Um,
All
so yeah, go ahead.
right. So, excuse me. Over time, the messages they are feeding your friends and family may start to contain a little nugget of truth. Only now the narcissist is poking fun at you behind your back. So that's one of their gifts. They are great equivocators. They will feed you 10% of truth and 90% of a lie, just so you cannot say um, that they're lying. It's like, no, it's not a total lie. You know, they don't throw some truth in there just to make just just so you can't say that. Like that's
Mhm.
the smart thing about the narcissist. But you know, it's like, okay, but you said that, but you forgot to add context to that or tell the whole story. So here's the whole story, and you'd be like, oh, so they just made a big deal out of that, and that's really I just don't. That's what they do.
Yeah,
Called gaslighting. We talked about that before.
yeah,
Create a whole scenario out of a nugget of truth, and then build a whole got a foundation this small, and then got a whole house built up on it this big. Like why?
yeah. So at this point, I want to say that we both have cash apps. Mine is it'll run across. Mine is Love Misunderstood, and it is a nonprofit organization, Love Misunderstood Institute. And Where is the Love? This show is stemmed from Love Misunderstood Institute. So, in order to help people to understand that um, bullying is not real love, And so some of that we've already said. So if you would like to donate to Love Misunderstood Institute, the nonprofit organization, to help us get the word out and the teaching and education about bullying out, then you can donate to Love Misunderstood. And Jean, go ahead and talk about your Cash App.
Right. All right. So my Cash App is #Premier Fitness MEMPH. Couldn't get the IS on there. It's supposed to be Premier Fitness Memphis, but they cut it off. Anyway, so I'm a yoga instructor, personal trainer, nutritional counselor, among other things in the fitness world. I'm also a meditation specialist, and help with things mind, body, spirit related. And just like anyone else, we do this for the love, with trying to provide you all with information and tools to help you just live a more productive, more efficient life. And if you want to donate, that would be great. Again, #Premier Fitness MEMPH to donate to the cause, because we got to keep the lights on.
We do have to keep the lights on and these computers running, so we need to pay the
Yeah.
electric bill.
Just donate a little bit. Every little bit helps.
So if you feel
Lord loves a cheerful giver.
he does. So if you would like to, like I said, donate to our organizations, our companies, our ministries, helping people, it is greatly appreciated. What happened?
Mark.
Oh.
He said, Jean and Stephanie are totally not right. We may use the donations to commit them both. They better find a double straight jacket for me, because I might just poke out of it or something. You never know. But I love myself. Love jacket. I love me so much. I love you.
Oh my goodness. So we also so moving right along, what this test does. So we were talking about feeding the messages, feeding the friends and family with little nuggets of truth. So what this test does is plant the seed for later, when you start to tell your friends stories about the narcissist, lies, cheating, and behaviors. The seed of doubt has now been planted, and your own friends and family will not believe the things you say about the narcissist when they go from good to bad.
Lord.
Mission accomplished. Go ahead and add what you want to add.
I've experienced it personally. Like, at this point they're looking at you like you're such a liar, and it's like, you're such an idiot. You don't know the facts. This person fed you enough to get you to believe.
Yeah.
Just like they do with PR, public relations. They feed you a little bit of truth, a whole bunch of lies, and a whole bunch of rhetoric and sensationalism to get you to believe. And then once they got you, it's like the person who's on the other side of it is like, dude, there's only like 10% truth in that. And here's the context. They still looking at you like, I don't believe. What you say.
So that's bad when people have you at that point where, you can, believe a little bit of what they're saying. Just from a little bit of truth, you can believe the whole thing that they said is true.
Right.
That's just horrible. It's just horrible. Yeah. So, you want to talk about the next thing?
Yeah. All right. So next chapter is the strength of a flying monkey. So, loving drama, some flying monkeys really thrive on the drama. Oops. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Not only the flying monkey, but the narcissist as well. They love drama. That's their food. They thrive off of the drama. They gotta have it. Anyway, when you're involved with a narcissist, it's almost inevitable that you will be involved in a few dramas along the way. What can beat the adrenaline of being caught up in lies, secrecy, and deception? Man,
So go ahead.
no, you go.
So I want to say something about this love and the drama. I have had my own experience, personal experience with uh, this same narcissist that Gene has had his majority of his experience with. And to get me isolated away from Gene, I was told that I love drama. I cannot stand drama. I never been able to stand drama, but that was the person's exact words to me, and some other things to get me away from Gene, to get us away from a relationship with one another, so that she can do what she wanted to him, to control him without me being around to be able to see what was going on. Y'all, drama is not a part of my life. If y'all heard me earlier saying some things ain't my business, I don't care if it is brought to me. How important is that to me? How is it going to build me up? Is it going to help me? These are things that I have learned and have grown in over the years, because of being bullied and because of being talked down to and belittled and controlled throughout my life. I had to learn the value of how important things are. I mean, is that important? Is it going to help me learn? Is it going to help me grow? If
Right.
not, then we talked a few weeks back about investing in relationships and divesting from relationships.
Right.
So I've learned a lot, and I help as much as I can other people when I see them in the same situation, hurting, and being controlled and bullied. I not only learned how to speak up for myself, but I learned how to speak up for those that I see the same things happening to, because I remember how hopeless and helpless I felt, and not having strength or courage, like the scarecrow on the Wizard of Oz, when he said, when the flying monkeys came. That video is in episode 16, a piece of that video. But the flying monkeys came and they attacked him, and he said, my leg is over there and my arm is over there, and they took my chest out, they took my heart out. That's how I felt. I'm giggling, but that is how I felt. And I felt that way for so many years. And I could not open my mouth to speak up, because I didn't want that person or those people to hurt and to feel the pain that I felt.
Right.
And so I just encourage you to treat people the way you want to be treated, to love on one another, to be kind to one another, because some people lose their minds behind being bullied and being mistreated. Some lose their life. They take their life because they don't feel like there's nothing worth living for. So let me stop. Gene, you want to add something? It's a lot right now.
Yes. No, I actually want to keep moving and explaining like flying monkeys. I think it's really important for our audience and just society in general to understand the effect of a person with narcissistic personality disorder
Yeah.
and other behavioral borderline personality disorder. That's what I wanted to say. It's important, so because you're going to deal with that a lot of people are unaware that this is what they are or who they are.
Yeah.
But it's important for you as a person who may interact with them, again, to know how to navigate is very important, and also how not to overreact.
Yeah.
It takes people like my mom and my other friends, especially during the beginning, to help me stay calm. You know, as a type A personality type person, I see something, I'm like, ah! And they're like, no, you got to be calm. And I'm like, but I wanna. They're like, no, Gene, calm down.
Yeah.
And you have to stay calm. You have to, during the chaos of life in any situation, you have to find that calm space, that the eye of the storm, where everything is peaceful while the world around you is chaotic. You have to find that peace, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that's helped me through all of this. So again, like I said before in another show, I want to thank you personally for your help, just being there for me during this chaos. It's only been a year and a half, not even technically a year and a half. So,
That's all. It seems like it's been 4 or 5 plus
well, I mean,
years.
I'm saying just this particular
I'm just
portion.
joking.
Yeah, this particular
Joke.
portion. It's forever, man. It's forever. But yeah,
That's a joke. I know it's been about a year and a half,
yeah,
but it seems like an eternity with some of the things that has happened and transpired throughout this year and a half.
yeah.
Um, but I'm just thankful that I know how to find peace for myself, and I find peace in a lot of prayer. I do a lot of praying. I search the scriptures. I listen to um, inspirational music. I listen to inspirational speakers. I do whatever it is to get me to that place of peace in my mind because, yes, I experience a lot of chaos, just like everybody else. And I have to choose, is this what I want, this chaos, or do I want something else? That something else is in this closed hand. I don't know what's in here, but I just know I don't want this chaos. So I'm at the fork in the road. I got to make a choice. What do I want? Do I want this chaos or do I want this something else that I can't see? I know it has to be something better. So I choose this. But you got to make a choice every time.
Right.
And so um, those are things that I find to help me have a peaceful mind and to get in a peaceful mindset to calm down from chaotic situations. And so I know this is kind of off of what we're doing right now. But Jean, tell them what things that you do to find a peaceful place in your mind and to help you. Tell them about your yoga and then other things that you do.
Right. Yeah. So for me personally, I my one of my things that I do to alleviate stress, I practice yoga, I meditate. I'm a creative person, so I write music, write songs, write poetry. Sometimes I take a walk in nature. It all depends on the situation, how severe it is. But definitely meditation, yoga, music is always a helper for me. My music that, especially in times of roughness, I need music that is uplifting and high energy at the same time. So I have a whole playlist of like spiritual hip hop and songs that have affirmations in them, just to get me upbeat, so I'm not so in my head. Um, so that's important. Meditation, then finding a way to transmute the negative energy that you're experiencing into something positive through the process of creating something. So those are the things that help me a lot.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. So back to the flying monkeys. Flying monkeys often have a strong have strong narcissistic traits themselves,
Right.
including a desire for attention, a lack of empathy, and a desire to bully and manipulate others. So you have the naive flying monkeys, and you also have the flying monkeys with the strong narcissistic traits as well. Go ahead, Jean.
Read the next part.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. The narcissist acts like a director of a play. From their point of view, people are only good. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. People are only as good as whatever they can be used for. And if they can't use you for anything else, they will turn you into their scapegoat. Once they get a scapegoat, they'll recruit the flying monkeys whose goal is to pressure you into whatever the narcissist wants you to do or shame you for not going along with their plans in the first place. So, to further explain what a scapegoat is, scapegoat is a person who is blamed for the wrongdoings, mistakes, or faults of others, especially for reasons of expediency.
One of the things about narcissists is they do blame other people. Uh, Nothing's ever wrong with things they say or things that they do. It's always somebody else's fault. They got to have somebody to blame.
Right.
So, flying monkeys often show up after a survivor has gone no contact. We'll talk about no contact in a future show. So and this is a way that you have to treat the narcissist or respond to the narcissist and their behavior. The no contact is. So when the narcissist discover they have no control over the victim, they recruit flying monkeys to do their dirty work. Flying monkeys usually start by posing as a peacemaker. They might
Oh,
even
wow.
they might even ask the victim to go along with the narcissist. So, Jean, go ahead and share what you want to share.
Yeah. So, man, my light went out. Yeah. So, personal experience with a flying monkey. One of the narcissist uh, family members who I was really tight with uh, since this person was at a very young age. This person was 5 years old. Always been super close to me. So once things dissolved with my relationship with the original narcissist, this person reached out to me under the guise of, um, I just, you know, it wasn't even necessarily that they wanted to know what was going on. It was just like, I heard, you know, the relationship has reached a dissolution, and I just wanted to kind of see how you were doing, which I thought was cool. It's like, I appreciate that. Like, we've been close since you were a little person, and now you're a grown person. So, hey, we're gonna be cool. So we had a whole conversation. They start slyly asking questions for information, which I played into some of it, and other stuff. I was like, I'm not even gonna go there. So sent the message. The person came back like 2 hours with a barrage of just uh, a lot of misinformation and vitriol. Just like it was like she was angry at me, and I'm like, saying just super foul stuff, and intentionally trying to provoke me to anger, and to have a reaction, and, and it took the wind out of me because I'm like, this person and I were really cool for a long time, and now this is how they, wow, like it took the air out of me, and I just had to, because I believe in, regardless of how you treat me, I absolutely live by the mantra or the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. So I know that this person is being fed a whole bunch of BS, and they're only coming to me because they feel like they're protecting this narcissist who's actually the one who is the perpetrator, you know. But because you feel like they're the victim and I'm the perpetrator, I'm just going to distance myself. Hope you have a good life. I wish you the best. Ended it there. This person, I blocked him on social media. And then this person going to send me an email. Go in the title of the emails, did you miss me? I'm like, whoa. This person was like, I hope you never see your children. You don't deserve to see your children again. Whew,
And
anyway, yeah. So,
and
all right. Back to
and
them flying monkeys. Cause
And
Oh!
and the thing about that, when Gene told me that that person reached out to him, I said, "Don't talk to them," because I know how people slyly come to you like they care about you and are fishing for information and will turn around and attack you. I just know it from experience.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to let them know what really transpired. And I told him that's not important because that's not what they're coming to you for. And so, although he shared what really happened, that wasn't enough for them. And then, so he shared the rest of what transpired with that. So, um, the producer said the squirrels and rabbits of Memphis told me that you talk to them regularly, Gene,
I
while
really do.
walking in the park. Huh?
I really do.
He
And
does talk to the animals.
I talk to him. Like, I'll be having a conversation. What's up, man? How you doing? You okay? You need some food? You hungry?
Okay, so let me share this last part. Or Gene, you want to share it? It's we're at the end of our show.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, if the victim refuses to comply, the flying monkeys will carry messages back and forth from the narcissist to their victim.
Which
Sometimes they spy on the victim and contribute to gossip. Other times, they go into an all out attack on the character of the victim, often using the words given to them by the narcissist. Oh man, the work of a flying monkey is to act as an extension of the narcissist. Man, man, man. Ma, never mind, we don't have time for that. Shoot. All right. I
um,
do.
go ahead.
I was going to say, I do really want to talk about in depth the two types of flying monkeys, but next time.
Okay.
Next
Yeah,
time.
that'll be on our next show. The naive and the toxic flying monkeys will address that on our next show. So I do want to add another type of bullying um, based off of the conversation that we just had. So there's what is called antisocial bullying. It is shunning, excluding, gossiping, mimicking, spreading rumors, using offensive gestures, and negative nonverbal body language. Didn't we just hear that about the flying monkey? So the narcissistic person and they're flying monkeys. There's a lot of bullying going on amongst them and put onto the victim. Y'all, there's so much more to cover about the narcissistic bully and about the flying monkey. So next time we're going to talk some more about these flying monkeys. We're going to continue this conversation about the narcissistic person with a narcissistic personality disorder. Gene, you want to add anything? Closing remarks.
Yeah, so again, just be aware of the red flags. You know, there's a cliche that says when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. That we've talked about how we always walk around with rose-colored glasses on, but life has smacked us around enough that
Yeah,
we open our eyes and we realize when you see a red flag, don't discard it, don't disregard it. I mean, pay attention to it. Trust your intuition when you're around a person who shows that they have the tendencies to be a narcissist, or just someone who's not good for you, who's not going to be love you and treat you with unconditional love. Exit stage left, keep them at a distance, and never let them come back in. You have to be very protective and judicious with the energy that you allow into your personal space. If you do not, it will drag you down, could cause you insanity and a premature death.
yeah,
So, let's be smart about the energy we allow around us.
yeah. So we want to say thank you for joining our show. Thanks for being a part. Thank you for your comments. We hope that the information that we have shared is beneficial to you and will help you grow in a positive direction. That is our hopes. So we say bye for now. We send you with peace, with love, and happiness and joy. We send to you. Um, See you next time. stay for another minute to see our exit video. See you next time. Take care.